All right. Hey, Crown Council, Stuart Anderson here. Welcome to our Crown Council Live. This is our weekly broadcast, our weekly show where we connect with our community, update you on what is happening in the Crown Council membership, and share some of the fun resources and stories that are happening in our community. Right now, we have a humanitarian group. They're in Mexico. Today is our last day of clinic. A lot of their fun stories have been shared on Facebook, and then next week we'll hear from them how it went, what they did, the patients that they saw. But it looks like an incredible experience. We've got another group leaving this weekend to go to the Dominican. So our humanitarians are busy, and we're looking forward to hearing from them and hearing their stories. Simultaneously, we're very excited about the Smiles for Life Whitening campaign, which has started March 1st. It'll go March, April, May, and June. There is still time for you to participate and be part of that. Thank you to those who are participating, who have set big goals, and who are working towards those goals already. I am going to share my screen for just a moment and walk you through a few of the tools that are available to you that maybe you haven't seen yet or possibly have not occurred to you. This is the directory of Crown Council. So when you log into crowncouncil.com, you'll see a directory. Everybody's directory looks different. This is what mine looks like. You are looking for a product called Smiles for Life Whitening Campaign. Everyone will have it. And when you click on it, there are some awesome materials that you should be aware of right here. Additional items, section 6. You can see my mouse kind of scroll over those. I wanted to just show you a couple. So this social media, so 6.2, is a great link to click on, and you should be aware of what's available for you and your team. One that I wanted to show here, Instagram posts, square graphics and stories. So you can follow this link. It downloads right to a Google Drive. And then here you can download some animated reels, very easy to watch, very fun to use in your own social media campaign. But this is a tool for you in your practice to use, something easy and fun that's been pre-built, that's easy for you to add to your Smiles for Life campaign. So here's just a quick, easy reel that you can add with instructions or links. And there's 8 of these to download. So once again, very easy to find in that Smiles for Life Whitening Hub. Scroll down here to additional items, and you will see lots of campaign tools, things that you can download, campaign ideas, the logos, everything that might help your practice online. So coming soon, we're going to have our campaign totals. I know we did this. Will be the end of our second week this week, so we're totaling up everybody's donations so far, and we'll have these Smiles for Life totals coming out soon, so we can see which practices are raising the most money. And we're very grateful for all of the Smiles for Life donations that have come in. So very good. All right, that's it for me for housekeeping. So thank you to all those that are participating in Smiles for Life. Everyone that is not signed up for the annual event in 2027, we're going to be sending out, save the date mailer, encouraging everyone to be there with us. It'll be our largest gathering year to year of all Crown Council members, and we would love to have everyone with us at our annual gathering, annual event. So. All right, I did an interview this morning with some of our resource partners from Cherry. I'm going to share my screen real quick, and you are going to see a landing page that Cherry has built for us specifically. I'm going to share this link with everybody, but this is our portal, if you will, to interact with Cherry and use their services, whether it's just a demo or actually signing up to be with them as a client. An incredible patient finance system and offer here from Cherry. So we're going to hear from Brett. Brett and I spent a few minutes together, and Brett shared some high-level information about Cherry. He shared some of their tools, how it works, and then specifically he shared some details about if you become a client of Cherry, what is offered or what is given. So I'm going to play this recording. We just recorded like maybe 30 minutes ago. Brett couldn't join me live, so we recorded. I'm going to play this for you. All right, hey everybody, welcome to the live stream, little recorded segment. I am here today with Brett. Brett, how are you?
I am doing well. Thanks for having
Cool.
me, Stuart.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh, hold on. Let's see what's going on. It's a live show. You never know what you're going to get here. All right, hold on. Let me just see what's going on. Not a big deal. Just hold on one sec. I'm going to just reopen this video of Brett and I and share it with you. So hold on one sec. Sorry, everybody. Thanks for your patience. Okay. Let's try this again. Let's see if this one works. All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the live stream, little recorded segment. I am here today with Brett. Brett, how are you?
I am doing well. Thanks for having
Cool.
me, Stuart.
Brett's coming to us from Cherry. I know that if you are living under a rock, you don't know who they are. Just kidding. That was kind of rude. But we are grateful for Cherry. Kind of, I would say, a new resource partner in Crown Council over the last year. And that came similar to how most resource partners join Crown Council, which is the members of Crown Council are using your product and said we need to have them as a partner, as a full-time solution to what's happening in dental practices for patient financing. And so that's how the relationship was born. I think we actually reached out to you guys and said, hey, let's do this. Let's be partners. So grateful to have you. Thanks for being on the live stream. Anyway, tell them you're in San Diego.
Yes, yeah, Carlsbad, North County.
So beautiful, right? I mean, just
Yeah, I went to school out here, and then my wife and I always made it a goal. We're gonna end up here, so raising a
nice.
family out here now.
That's the best.
Yep.
Hey, well, if you wouldn't mind, maybe just give us some high level introductions to what Cherry does, who you are. If we were maybe sitting in an elevator and I was like, dude, what do you do? Can we start there?
Yeah. So if you're not familiar with Cherry, we're a third-party financing option. We're actually the fastest growing option in the space. In dental specifically, we have roughly 25,000 offices. So onboard about 1,000 to 2,000 a month. So as you can imagine, our team's very busy.
Great.
I think a lot of that's due to just the nature of dental itself, right? A lot of patients need help with paying for treatments, getting access to care. We're able to provide a fix or a tool for that for you guys. So a little bit about me. I run the partnerships team. Before that, I was a patient financing consultant for hundreds, if not thousands, of offices working with Cherry. So I know a lot of the ins and outs of what's going on in the space and what's working and what's not working. But yeah, excited to be on and get to talk to you guys.
Thanks. What if just a little more introduction? If you were to look at why the growth, right? I mean, because there have been patient finance companies in the past.
Yeah.
What is happening that's different? Like, what's Cherry doing where you're like, this is why this is working?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of components to that. I think the space was just due for an update on what's going on and how patients or consumers shop. So I think of it a lot of times as a lot of these consumers who are your patients are shopping online and they're used to seeing like Affirm or Afterpay or Klarna, and they see a pair of Nikes even for $120 and they want to
Right.
pay $20 a month for
Bucks a
it.
month. Yeah.
So I think that it was just something that was familiar in a lot of other spaces, and we brought that familiarity into dental. I think that in order for us to grow at this rate, it needed to be easy and really well received by offices. So I think a lot of team members who use Cherry, a lot of the times when I speak with them, they'll have their first patient transact and they're like, "That was the easiest thing in the whole world. Like I need to do this with everybody." Um, so yeah, I think there was just a lot of good feedback around like how easy it is to use. We can go into like the product differentiation stuff here in a second, but I think initially just super easy for practices to use. really patient friendly. They could use it same day in the chair, but and I don't think you grow that fast without word of mouth. So I think people loving it and using it and telling their friends about it is really what sparked the growth.
Yeah, I agree. Any chatter on the Crown Council email network about you, always a positive thing.
Nice.
I think there was a couple months ago where someone asked, "Hey, who's using Cherry?" And I've never seen so many responses on the email network of Crown Council teams who are already using your product. So, um, Brett and I had talked before the call about sharing some of the things, uh, maybe product highlights, talking about how Cherry works. Do you want to do that, Brett? Do you want to share your screen and move
Yeah,
through some of the highlights of your own product so Crown Council members know about it?
yeah, I can share my screen.
Okay.
We just do like a quick overview, some of the main differences there, and then making sure that even if you are a Cherry user, that you're utilizing a tool that promotes a significant amount of growth for the practice. So I'll touch on a couple
Okay.
of those things there.
Cool.
Can you guys see my screen okay? Can you
Yeah, I
see
can
it
see it.
okay? Okay. I'll just keep it at this so we can make it pretty easy to walk through.
Okay.
Um, but touching on the first part, I think that, like I said, the importance of understanding like who's coming in the door as a patient. These patients, like I said, they're all shopping online. They're all used to seeing on Amazon. They're buying an $800 couch. They want to pay as low as $150 a month. Or if they're buying an iPhone, Apple's going to show them $41 a month, right?
Right.
So we center all of our tools and our trainings around this, and I think that that's overall what produces the production increase there on a monthly basis for getting patients to say yes to treatment. Um, some of the main differences, and this is a high level overview of the financing space in general of the options out there. We're going to approve a lot more patients. I'm sure if you talk to your friends or if you have other office managers or other dental practice owners that use Cherry, they'll tell you like 85% of patients who apply with Cherry are going to get approved. So that number is actually increased here.
Okay.
Um, it's really patient friendly. It's always a soft credit pool, so we're never going to impact the patient's credit score. I feel like that's a huge barrier. A
Hmm.
lot of patients don't want to apply if it's going to impact their credit. So never a hard credit pool there. And we do go all the way down to a 520 credit score, and even deeper into the low 400s for some of our shorter term options. So um, nearly any patient who walks in the door is going to get some sort of approval and can check out with Cherry at the practice.
Hmm.
Um, I think one really key important thing, and especially if you're looking at maintaining the reputation of your practice and keeping good health with your patients, is there's no deferred interest with Cherry. When I speak with a lot of doctors and office managers about this is something that gets them really excited. So it's true 0%. If a patient defaults on the loan, we actually don't retroactively charge them any interest like some other options would do in the space. It's true 0%, like I said. So if they make it to month 11 on a 12-month loan interest free and they default, we do not backdate interest on the balance of the loan that they've taken out. So
Wow.
um, a lot of office managers like to say that to patients too, because they know that they're getting into a bit safer of an option when
Hmm.
financing. But yeah, anywhere from 3 to 24 months interest free, all the way up to 60 months with interest bearing plans. And we can do all the way up to $50,000 now of financing for a patient.
Wow.
That's something that's new there. So, yeah, a pretty wide variety, anywhere from $35 to $50,000 is what we're seeing for approvals.
Ah, cool.
Yep. But yeah, really to highlight kind of what our team trains on, I think that it's important to note too that when you sign up for Cherry, it's not just like a demonstration call, like, hey, this is the platform, this is how it works, let's sign up. We actually invest into the team. So we do a 45-minute training call with the staff.
Nice. Okay.
And that is going to give a high level overview of how to use the dashboard, but also train the staff on talk tracks for case acceptance, how to close more cases, get patients to yes, and make them feel more comfortable in the office. Um, and it really goes through this model here, the old way of financing, right? Where you check in, you give a consultation, you quote a full treatment plan, and they get a ton of sticker shock, right?
Right.
I'm sure they've seen that before, where it's like, hey, this is $5,000. How do you want to pay for this? And it's, oof, I'm gonna go talk to my spouse. Let me think
Yeah.
about it. Um, but then we become a bit more proactive, where we show them the monthly options and from the get-go. It feels more affordable, it feels more relatable to what they're used to seeing. And the same day treatment acceptance goes up significantly when we do that. So, um, Any initial thoughts or questions there? I can dive into the actual product too if they want to see the tool.
No, I love the idea. I did a podcast yesterday with my social practice about how to implement. What are the keys to implementing something new, right, into a practice? You know,
Mhm.
you come home from a meeting and you meet this great new technology or thing you want to implement in the practice.
Yeah.
I love the idea of a team training. I mean, just a simple 45-minute team training call um, is such a great proactive way to make sure that we're on the same page. So, excellent. I love that. Just a great highlight. So,
Yeah, I think like you said, it's important. You can hear about the next best thing, but implementing it is always the hardest piece,
right,
especially with like how busy dental practices are.
right.
I know how busy it can get. But yeah, I think to highlight one of the product features, I think that if you're a current Cherry user or if you're going to be new to Cherry, this is a huge piece of why our practices see a ton of success in case acceptance. There's a lot of tools here in the dashboard. So we have an application link you can text or email. You can apply with the patient in the office. We have a pre-approval tool. But this tool right here, the payment estimator, is our bread and butter of what makes a successful practice. So um, if you're an office manager, if you have your treatment coordinator, and let's say a patient is looking at a $5,000 treatment, you can punch that in and click estimate. This is going to provide a printable or a sendable sheet that they can have right there at the front. It's going to highlight the total cost of the treatment and then break down the potential monthly numbers they can see with Cherry. Uh,
Cool.
yep. So now we're getting into the Affirm Afterpay Klarna, right, in the e-commerce space. So now your patient sees instead of $5,000, they say, "Oh, I can pay $200 a month interest free." That seems like a much more reasonable option. Scan the QR code, get approved, and they can check out with the funding right then and there in the chair.
Wow.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah. Important to note on this, obviously there's a fee involved. Crown Council members, you guys get our best rate, so you get our gold tier pricing. It's going to
Okay.
be about 20 to 30% cheaper than any other financing option, or even our own options at what we start at. So they get funded in 1 to 2 business days, no clawbacks, and then we handle all of the patient payments from there.
Wow. Very cool.
Um, I think it's also this is something that I feel like doesn't get highlighted enough in this is practices who are between a couple different options. Um, one key highlight that I always like to point out is we're one of the only options that allows patients to pay with a credit card.
Okay.
So they can finance with Cherry and then they can put it on a credit
The
card
credit
as well.
card.
So
Okay.
I
Wow.
think that that's kind of a holdup sometimes. A lot of patients don't walk around with a debit card or know their banking info off the bat. So it's important to be able to have that option.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, outside of that, and I'm sure if you guys were interested further, we have a full sales team that can run you through an entire demo. But um, our team is great, and like I said, we've been growing like crazy, so we're happy to take you guys on or provide any info or feedback if you have questions on financing.
Okay. You know, a couple days ago, Brett, you sent me kind of this Crown Council PDF, which
Mhm.
I'm going to share with this. I'll share it now, but we're also going to put it out onto the Crown Council email network and a few other places. Let's just look at it real quick together. I just want to make sure that. Okay, so here is our kind of our Crown Council offer.
Hmm.
A lot of what we just talked about. Approvals up to $50,000.
Yep.
And we saw it does go up to 60 months with some interest. But here is the key that I want everybody to make sure we know about, and I'll include this link when we email out this video past the live stream. But we have our own specific kind of Crown Council landing page,
Yep.
which is that what you recommend? Everybody obviously go through that portal for Crown Council.
Yep, yeah, so they can scan the QR code right there. It'll take them to the page as well.
Okay.
But yeah, if it's just with cherry.com/crown council, it'll take you to the co-branded landing page. That actually notifies our team that you guys are part of the Crown
Okay.
Council, so they know that you guys get the discounts. So it's helpful. But yeah, this is our gold tier pricing. So this is the best pricing we offer right here.
Okay. Gold tier, double platinum, diamond, elite.
Double platinum. Yeah,
Awesome.
yeah, it's the best we got.
Thank you, Brett. Thank you to Cherry. We're grateful for, especially. I mean, not just the solutions that you offer, but also for being a partner, for truly offering solutions to help our practices and our patients. So grateful for you. Thanks, man.
Yeah, grateful for the partnership. We're excited
Yeah.
to be a part of
When
it.
when we when we call Cherry, are we talking to you? Are we talking to the sales team, right? You're
Uh, Usually I'm the first point. So if you're giving a
okay.
call, it's usually my phone number and I connect you guys. So feel free to give me a
Yes.
ring.
Cool. Awesome. All right, man. Thank you, and thank you, Cherry.
Yep. Thank you guys.
All right, very cool. Grateful for Brett. I'll include that link. You can also find that link in the resource partner page of crowncouncil.com. Just search for Cherry and up it'll pop all of the discounts and offers that Cherry is giving to Crown Council members. So grateful for them and thankful for our partnership. Thankful for Brett that he could make today work for the live stream. All right, I've got a couple more recorded segments here for our live stream. Next week, we're going to be doing a live webinar with Steve. Steve will be with us next week. We're looking forward to that, and that will require registration. We'll be over on the GoToWebinar platform. I'll share that also with this recording, but next week we're going to be over there. Today I've got an interview. Steve and Gabe Gonzalez joined us for the live stream. Maybe a few months back. I am going to share that recording, just a 15-minute interview that hopefully goes well. So let me share my screen, share my sound, and here's this interview with Gabe.
Speaking of doing good and great quality practices, I'm excited to invite in Gabe Gonzalez from Albuquerque, New Mexico. So Gabe is with us and excited to have him all the way from New Mexico. Gabe, good day.
Hi, how are you doing, Steve?
Doing super good. Thanks for being with us on Crown Council Live today. And I have an agenda for you that is about 3 times as long as this program permits. And so I appreciate you taking some time. So just a little bit of context for everybody. So Gabe is the CEO. Can I give you that title? Does that work all right?
Yes, that's great.
Of Academy Dental Care in Albuquerque, New Mexico. One of the top practices in Albuquerque. And Gabe is as the leader of the practice, and Chelsea, his wife, who is a dentist, have built and continue to build just an amazing practice in New Mexico, and have done that in so many different ways. And maybe, Gabe, you can just give us for starters, just give us a quick snapshot of how the two of you got started, kind of the origin of the practice. Give us a little snapshot.
Yeah, sure. So we started in 2014, and we had purchased her uncle's practice. And being new owners, we didn't have a lot of direction on really how to run a business, because the dentistry sometimes is the easy part, but the other part of building relationships with teammates and with patients, that takes a lot of work to do it the right way. So that's why when we joined the Crown Council, it was such a great opportunity for us to be able to really take our team to the next level. So that's kind of how we got started with TOPS, and everything that TOPS kind of preaches and what they guide dental offices to do really makes it so that you're not having to reinvent the wheel. And that's really key when you can really leverage experience that other people have done, so that you have a really good roadmap on how to become an elite practice.
One of my favorite experiences, favorite stories in your practice came from Dr. Gonzalez's involvement in her Crown Council mastermind group.
Yep.
And this was an extraordinary experience, but you were expecting, was it child number 2?
Yes, number 2.
Child number 2, and maternity leave was on the horizon. And the one who stepped in to help with that came from a most unusual source. You want to tell everybody that quick story? I thought it was so cool.
Sure. Yeah. We were actually at a Crown Council event, and we were trying to figure out how do we make this work. Dr. Gonzalez is going to be out for a while, and Dr. Kern, who was also part of the Crown Council, we made a connection, and we just started talking, and we said we needed somebody to help, with the practice, who really can come in and hit the ground running. And she was really able to do that, and she was a total lifesaver. And what was nice is because she already had the principles down. it made the transition of working with the team and the patients really easy. And the great thing is when we went through that whole process and finished with Dr. Kern, everybody told us it's like nothing was any different. It's like she knew exactly what she was doing. And that was great to have another partner with us in the Crown Council that made that so easy for us to handle.
Yeah, that was it. So Dr. Jeanette Kern practiced her whole career in California and moderates one of our Crown Council mastermind groups. And so she had the flexibility to be able to step in, and she did. She had the verbal skills, the how everything's supposed to work, just kind of a seamless transition in and out. And I know that she had an amazing experience with your team as well. And it was so neat to see all that come together. So you talked about the annual event. I know that's one of your team favorites at your office. Tell us why.
You know, the big thing is we spend so much time working with patients and spending time on patients. Oftentimes we work so hard, we forget to take care of ourselves. And so one of the things that I like about the annual event is because it's something that everybody can take away and improve both at work and personally as well. We didn't know what to expect the first time that we went, but when we walked away, we said, this is really the organization that we want to be a part of, because we were energized when we finished. And we came back and we had a mission. And then the first year that we brought the team with us, the whole team, I mean, really, it kind of set the stage of how we wanted to work together, you know, to really do great dentistry in the community moving forward. And that was really the stepping stone for us to be able to do that. And I just love it that, you know, we're able to work on ourselves, because as a manager myself, if somebody's not working on themselves in general, how in the world are you going to be able to have them work on themselves at work? So it has to be like, you know, a big picture of how people want to become the best version of themselves at work. And really the annual event is kind of the stepping stone for that, I think.
Yeah, it's very much an inside out proposition. And you know, great teams are made up of great people. And when you work on the people, the team emerges, and you all get that at a very, very high degree. I know that, at least I have been told, that one of your favorite events is our TOPS Leadership Academy. And you have been to that many, many times. We've done it online for the last 2 years during the pandemic. In fact, I think there was a period there when we were doing Leadership Academy 2 and 3 times a week. And we're excited to bring that back in person again this fall. So tell us about your experience there and why that's become a favorite for you.
Yeah, for some of the people that are on the call, I actually came from corporate America, and one of the things that they do in big organizations is they have knowledge sharing. And that's something that's really difficult to do when you're in a practice and, you know, you have another dental office that's next to you, but you don't exactly want to just work directly with them. And so what I really take away from the leadership academies that have been so helpful for both me and my team is you really get a chance to have like a working session with other professionals that do what you do, and oftentimes may have some of the same challenges that you do. And every time I go to this event, it's great because I get a chance to sit with other people where maybe, you know, I'm kind of giving some examples of what it is that we do. But a lot of the things that we've actually implemented in our practice is just by sitting with doctors, other hygienists or assistants or business team members. And they describe some of the same things that they're going through, and you take away nuggets. And what I love about the Leadership Academy is that when you have other people that are trying to do the same thing with the patients, they really give you a roadmap on, you know, how to come away with something to where you can implement it in your practice and actually make it work. Oftentimes we do conferences, but then you come back home and then you're like, don't really do anything with it. And when we come back from the Leadership Academy, there's easy things for us to implement that have amazing outcomes for both the team and for patients.
Thank you for that. And it's always an amazing experience to watch what happens when that kind of experience gets facilitated and you just have the opportunity to interact. And usually the ideas and the content that comes out of just the interaction is far better from what gets presented from the front of the room. And I know you would agree with that. So, so I always love having you there because you are an anchor, and I think one that a lot of people look up to just because of your background and experience and your your business acumen is just so valuable, especially for other people. So with all of that, with all of your background and everything that you've experienced in business, even, previous to even building the practice, you're a big believer in having a coach.
Yes.
And where did you pick that up? And tell us kind of the background and what your experience has been there.
Yeah, so really I came from corporate America from a training organization. And so I spent really kind of, 15 to 20 years knowing how important it is to be able to have teammates and leaders grow together, and to get better. And so one of the things that we did when we first started working kind of with the Crown Council is we realized that we need somebody who can help us find where our blind spots are. Somebody who's really positive and can help you build a plan on how to take your practice to the next level. And when we had a coach join our team, it was so valuable to be able to have somebody come in like every 3 months, like every 90 days, because just like with anything else, you talk about what it is that you'd like to implement, but it's about the follow-up. And what I loved about the coach is that they could kind of see how the practice was running over a period of time. They'd give us some coaching and some training, and then they were actually in the middle of the team in the practice, being able to visually see and observe what was going on. And this is a thing that would be the best thing to share with the team, is that nobody really knows exactly how that's going to feel. But the great thing about the coaches that TOPS have is that they're not there as a consultant to tell you, this is what you're doing wrong. I was so impressed with the professionalism of how they, the teammates after like the first session, they were asking, when can they come back? Like what they were kind of sharing with me, when they were seeing how I was doing an exam or how I was dealing with the patient with perio, they were able to do like real coaching like in real time. And that's so beneficial for the team, so that you don't have to wait until a few days afterwards or, to the next check-in to be able to discuss some of those things. So what I've come to understand is that I'm not the smartest guy in the room, but what I do know how to do is to get the right people to help me come in to really set the stage, give us some guidance, help us with the plan so that we can deliver to our patients, really, really good outcomes. And I don't think that we'd be where we are today if we didn't have that help from TOPS.
Yeah, great advice, and the mark of a great leader.
Yeah.
Surrounds himself with great people, and Chris Taconis on the TOPS practice advisor coaching team, I know I think she adopted you all somewhere along the line. She feels part of the Academy Dental Care family, and that response, what your team said, is what we hear every day. Yeah. Is how soon can they come back, which is not usually the response teams have to a consultant. And because they become part of the team and just go to work and roll up their sleeves and make it happen. So, and that I think is hats off to your team for being coachable, because that is the skill on the other side that's required, is being eager to learn and wanting to improve. And you've attracted an amazing team, whatever your hiring system is, to attract and find good people, which is something that everybody is always looking for. So maybe reach back as we kind of wrap up our conversation here. Practice pearls. If you had to identify some things in your practice, in addition to what we've already talked about, that you wouldn't practice without, whether it's an idea, a concept, something you do, what makes Academy Dental Care special that's part of your secret sauce?
So I would say this is something that we have for any teammate that is new to our organization that we bring in, is that there's 3 things that make you successful at Academy Dental Care. The first thing, take care of your team. Be a great teammate, grow in your role, and be the best that you can be. The second thing is make sure that you take care of the patients. Make sure that we diagnose perio, make sure that we do the right thing for the patient, have really good communication skills so that we can help patients fit dentistry into their budget and into their lives. And then the last thing is making sure that everybody on the team understands their purpose and believes in the vision of the practice. And really, when those three things happen, you have a team that works great together and can really create great outcomes for patients. And so that's something that everybody on the team, really follows. And when you do those three things at Academy Dental Care, like, we do amazing things for our patients and for each other.
You did not even hesitate when I asked you that question, and I did not prep you for that. You got it down, which is the mark of excellence. You know exactly what makes it work and what makes your practice different. So thank you for sharing that, and thanks for your great leadership and example, and for the amazing practice that you continue to build. It's a model, and I know it's a shining light in Albuquerque of what dentistry should be like for patients.
Thanks, Steve.
Thanks for making it happen, and thanks for taking a minute out of your day today to join us on Crown Council Live.
Sure thing. Thank you.
You bet. Thanks, Gabe.
All right, very cool. Great interview. And that team was recognized at the annual event, one of the Crown Council annual events, as Team of the Year. Some really fun takeaways there, especially I love the part about coaching, having someone from the outside looking in, making sure that we're accountable, and helping with problems that sometimes we don't see as part of the team. So thank you, Gabe. Thank you, Steve. We've got one more interview with Ron Massey. This was from a Crown Council Live that Steve and I did together. Ron Massey, one of our original Crown Council members, one of our great examples, Smiles for Life Hall of Fame, incredible doctor and leader inside the group. And this was one of our interviews with him from Crown Council Live. So I'll share that with you today. Oh, Spence is gone too. I don't know if Massey's in or not. I'll ask DJ to bring him in if he is. I just texted him, but maybe maybe as a introduction, Steve, to Ron before he gets here. How do you know Dr. Massey? You're relate. Maybe just introduce him.
Yeah. So Ron Massey practices in Lake of the Ozarks, Missouri. Yes, the location of the now famous show on Netflix, Ozarks. Although
hey, Dr. Ron?
I understand that whole series is filmed in Georgia. Anyway, things are not always as
coming
they
to an end.
There he is, Dr. Massey.
But it was filmed in Georgia, except some of the trailers and headers were filmed here at the lake. But yes,
yeah, it's put your town on the map.
I hate to tell you, some of the themes that are in there are Ozarkian.
They're not too far from the truth.
Just over the hill.
Oh,
I'll tell you one thing. The one thing that is beautiful about it is, the old saying about publicity, as long as they spell your name correctly, it has put your town on the map worldwide. Everybody knows where it is. So we were just talking, Ron, you and I originally met many, many years ago through your Henry Schein sales rep, if I'm not mistaken. Is that correct?
Helen Gross.
Yeah. And that has been a few years ago.
1997.
Yep. Helen had actually been through our training and then talked to you about it. And that's how you originally encountered us. And we've been doing stuff together for a long time. Longtime Crown Council member, lifetime qualified member, and been part of the Total Patient Service family as well for many years. Pam Peterson, your practice advisor, was just in your office last week. Is that right?
Week before, yeah.
Last was just there working with your team. And Ron has the distinct honor of being my Miles for Life wingman.
Mm-hmm.
I think the very first one, right, Ron?
Exactly.
Ron, you were there. And also has the very distinct honor of being my barber.
That was good. That was a
So,
good
And how
one.
much money did we raise? I think we raised like 110 or $120,000.
$100,000. Massey threw down a challenge. He
Wow.
got me to agree to shave my head if we raised $100,000. The whole thing was rigged. I think you already had all the money raised.
I didn't. And it took a whole, I think it was like 21 minutes.
But what I didn't realize is that part of the deal was that you got to shave my head. So Massey was my barber.
That was so
And,
funny.
I was good. I was good with it until you pulled out the razor.
That was
You
bad.
pulled out, man. It wasn't good enough just to use the shears, man. After you did the shears, he pulled out the razor.
Wow.
Whew.
You know, you gotta, let's make it real. Don't do something halfway. You gotta do it all the way.
Anyway, so thank you, Ron, for all of the great companionship and support. We're going to talk a little bit about Smiles for Life, and I want to talk about your practice as well. But we're going to talk first about the Smiles for Life campaign. We just went over the results for the 2022 campaign, which we're coming over the finish line and starting into next year. And you've been doing Smiles for Life whitening campaign, how many years?
2005, I've got record back to. So Ron's practice has raised $218,190. And that does not include this year's. So that's a Smiles for Life Hall of Fame, 200,000, incredible amount. Yeah.
So,
Well, and that doesn't, the other thing that doesn't include is like other efforts, like Steve was just talking about with other things we've
That's
done. And by the way, Greg, if you're still with us, I want to know whether we're doing the ski thing in Salt Lake City before the annual event. Like I
yes,
suggested, I'm going to twist his arm a little more. Gregorio, I'm talking about you, my brother.
Okay, so we got it.
He's just nervous about your knee,
We
Ron.
may have a.
Don't worry about my knee. My knee's good.
Okay.
We may have a Smiles for Life ski challenge with the annual events. So,
Fun.
Ron, let's talk about Lake of the Ozarks and Smiles for Life whitening campaign and what you've done over the last 18 years to engage the community in doing good. How does it work?
Well, one of the biggest things that I attribute our success to is we talk about it. We talk about it in the office. We talk about it in the community. We have a magazine called LO Profile. Very, very nice upscale magazine, much like the Dallas magazine. I was in Dallas last weekend, actually McKinney, and saw the Dallas magazine in the airport there when I flew down. But it's getting the word out, getting the exposure out, and exposing who is going to benefit from this. And in our situation, I've been on our board of directors for our local YMCA now about 26 years. And that organization does so much good for the community. And one of the biggest things that we reinforce as to why they are our beneficiary for Smiles for Life is no one in our YMCA is refused a membership or the ability to participate in our YMCA activities because of financial constraints. And so some of the money that we give every year goes into a resource that the YMCA continues to have so that the children in our youth programs are not denied. So those kinds of things are real attention getters. And when you tie that back to the practice, it becomes significant. So it's a symbiotic thing. We've gained a tremendous number of patients and families into the practice because of that, but also the other way around. So
Nice.
That's number one. Make sure that you're tied with a great organization that's going to benefit from your efforts, and make sure they're out there talking about it in the community with you. The second thing is that when we launch the campaign here in the office, we actually do a pre-launch so that we start posting things to social media when it's going to start, so patients can actually start scheduling their whitening long before the campaign starts.
Nice.
On March 1st. And so we'll hit the ground running right out of the gate. And that's a big thing. Third thing we do is we've partnered with several of the restaurants and hotel around the lake area, and no hotels yet, but the restaurants around the lake area. One is Shawnee Bluff Vineyard, and their whole family the owners of that are all patients of ours. And so they do a full day. Everything that they take in and not just the profit, everything that they take in for that full day, they call it Give Back Tuesday, comes to our effort for Smiles for Life.
Nice.
It's just a little small vineyard. It's basically a vineyard. They serve pizza, and that's really about the pizza and a cheese plate if you want that. But they really don't serve a lot of food. But I think this year it's about $33 or $3,400. Out of that, though, interestingly, we've had another restaurant from a family that joined the practice. They now have come to us, and they do a Give Back Tuesday that we benefited from also, and that one was almost $4,000 that they give to Smiles for Life. So partner with the organization that's going to receive your work and the financial from it, but also then reach out and start partnering with others. We have a On the Water restaurant, a third one now coming up for next year. And the owner of that has become a patient of ours because he heard about what we were doing through one of the others. And so it just keeps going. And that's really helped us a lot.
Now, I understood because of all this work you're doing in the community that you actually have an appearance on an upcoming episode of Ozark. Is that right?
No.
I've been waiting for the dental episode.
Yeah.
No, but I may have another one, and I will talk about that with you offline.
Okay.
It's a patient that's been indicted for a criminal activity, and she's now going to mention us because we've helped her with her smile on 60 Minutes coming up. True story.
That's great. That's nice of her to loop you in on that.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about the practice real quick. Quick little backstory that some may or may not know that makes Ron Massey unique in many ways. You had a career in business before you became a dentist. You worked for IBM for several years. How many years with IBM?
A little over 5.
5 years with IBM. It's got a great business education, and then went to dental school, became a dentist. So you got a good business background before you ever went into practice. So running a practice was, there's always surprises, but with your business background, very, very savvy. Talk to us about why you have a coach.
Well, Gary Pinkel, who is the retired head football coach at the University of Missouri of Columbia, Mizzou, is a friend of mine, and Gary made a comment to me several years ago. He's the winningest coach in the history of Mizzou football, and he and Missy have become great friends of ours. And Gary made a comment to me a while back. He said, "Every coach needs a coach." I think that says it in a nutshell. Steve, you're one of my coaches, as you know. Pam is one of my coaches. My wife is one of my coaches. And every coach needs a coach. We can't do it by ourselves. When I went with IBM, I had what we call a big brother. And Stan is still my big brother. And he is my coach. And he makes an effort every month to 6 weeks to say, okay, here, how are you doing? Where are you? Hold me accountable, but also is interested. So that is huge in the scheme of things. And if you don't have a coach, who is helping you with what you need? That's a biggie. That's a biggie.
Well put. And I love that quote. Every coach needs a coach. Along with that, you have been part of a Crown Council mastermind for many, many years. We affectionately named the group Top of the Table, and that goes back. I've lost track of the number of years, but it's probably 12 plus, maybe, right?
Oh, at least
that. What do you get from your mastermind group? What's because that has been part of your formula for many, many years. Why?
Well, the mastermind group is the birds of a feather that flock together. I don't know how else better to say it. We've lost some guys. We've gained some guys. But really, even we stay in touch. We love each other. We care about each other, and we're willing to do You know, at the drop of a hat, I'm convinced that if one of us was in a dire straits situation, if not everybody, almost everybody would be on a plane headed to help us out. It's that kind of camaraderie. So, but we also, you know, we share a lot with each other. For instance, next week I'll be at the COI Symposium. Peter Young and I always sit together. We've been in that mastermind group from Ground Zero, and we're having dinner together. We corroborate, even sitting there, and we talk about not only everything we learned at the COI Symposium, but everything that we learned through Total Patient Service, everything we learned through the Crown Council, and how we continue to grow ourselves and grow our practice and grow our mastermind cohorts.
Never-ending process.
It is.
All right,
It's
so
very
this is our Stu's going to ask you our favorite question, Ron. Go for it, Stu.
Ron, if you were
That's a deviant laugh.
well,
Yeah, this is a great question.
I was only laughing. I hope I get it right. If you were to travel back in time, Ron, and talk to young Ron, what advice, what would you, he's doing it all over again. What are some things that were good, bad? What would you share? Maybe if you were doing it over again, or lessons learned, what would you talk to Dr.
Well,
Baby Ron?
the first thing I would say is get a business mentor. That's been extremely valuable. I did not, when I hit the ground in my dental practice, I did not have a business mentor. I did follow the lead of one thing that I learned in dental school. It's not the only thing, but it's one of the most important things. In one of the business classes that we had, which was really pretty few and far between in dental school, but the professor made a comment that get a CPA. Start with a CPA, because they can help you in the business situation, and the fact that they are a licensed professional in your state holds them accountable, just like the dental board in each respective state holds us accountable. So get a CPA. And I did that. That helped a lot until my CPA dropped the ball and then ended up drinking himself to death, which is a whole nother story, sad but true. But that's the first thing. The second thing is, as far as the practice size is concerned, physical size, always overbuild. We thought we overbuilt when we bought the building we're in and remodeled it, and we use every square inch. And we are entering into some serious pursuit after Labor Day this year. This is kind of an announcement to build a new office. I received a call about 3-4 weeks ago from Stu Humans, and he said, here again, Crown Council brother, and he said, brother, I need a call. I need a perspective. He said, I'm 52 years old. We have outgrown our physical facility. My partners think I'm crazy to want to build a new practice. And what do you think? And I said, Stu, I'm 62 years old and I'm getting ready to build a new practice. He said, I don't need to hear any more.
End of conversation.
Into that conversation. So and I have people ask all the time, when are you going to retire? I don't know. Where's that going to take me? So, don't plan on laying over. That would be the third thing I'd say. If you don't have a purpose, there's no purpose, and there's no, where do you go from there? So, as Stu and Steve, you guys both know, I'm not one to sit around and watch the grass grow, because the grass is always going to grow. What's that get me? And it doesn't do anything for my friendships, my relationships, my family, or anybody else. So the fourth thing that I would say is, don't become a convict of an insurance company. Insurance companies will convict you, not legally, not criminally, but they will convict you to an area of dentistry that is not in your best interest. It's not in the patient's best interest. It's only in their best interest. So
Interesting advice. Great
don't
advice.
become tied up with the insurance companies. Don't get into a contract with an insurance company. Um, they're doing a good job of destroying medicine and the medical care system. We have patients come to us all the time because we are moving very much so into the depths of a oral medicine based practice in a very expedited way. And I have sitting here on my desk, I have blood work from 3 different patients that want me to review it because they don't trust their physician. They don't even know if they have never seen their physician. And they don't know if their physician's even looked at it. They got a call from the nurse that said, "You're okay."
Wow.
And they're not, they're sick.
Yeah.
And they know they don't feel good. So we are moving into that realm. And I would encourage every dentist out there to look into direct diagnostics and the HR5 testing. We're doing 3 to 4 tests a day on patients. I'm getting ready to go take the packet for the week. And I think there's like 17 or 18. We're only working 3 days a week. I think there's 17 or 18 tests in there that we've done this week alone. And you need to be a healthcare provider first and foremost, and the rest of it will fall in place. The numbers, your income, all the rest of it, it'll take care of itself.
It is an exciting time to be in dentistry. And,
Yes, it is.
As we talk about a lot, dentistry is the frontline healthcare profession, and the one that touches more of the community than anybody else. And you do that in so many ways, in just how you run your practice, how you do the Smiles for Life whitening campaign, as well as all your charitable efforts to do good. So great example. So thank you for sharing with us.
Thank you, Ron.
Let me leave you with one thought to carry forward for everybody. And that is, and this goes right back to what Jordan was talking about a few minutes ago. You need to take care of your employees the way you want your employees to take care of your patients.
Yeah, agreed.
If you provide them time and you care about them and their families, we have a group chat room. And this morning, one of our hygienists, oral medicine specialists, posted a picture of her daughter taking her first steps.
Nice.
And you can imagine the team, a whole group of women. I'm the only guy here. And that thing blew up.
Nice.
And so we're that kind of a family.
Yeah, that's great.
The husbands of all the employees on their birthday, I send them a text and say, happy birthday. On the kids' birthdays, we do for the kids, we do for the families. I mean, all the time. So take care of your employees in the way that you want them to take care of your patients.
Love it.
Smart.
Well put, Dr. Massey. Thank you for the organized thinking. Man, this is like, you just laid out a textbook for Smiles for Life, a textbook for your practice, the point 1, point 2, point 3. Very, very organized thinker, which I've always known you are. So thank you for laying it out in an easy to follow format, and for your ongoing great example. So.
All right, I'll stop it there. I know that it goes on for just a couple more minutes. Grateful for Ron. There was something there that he mentioned at the end about direct diagnostics. We've had a new resource partner in that diagnostics system, Simply Perio, who was with us at the annual event, and some saliva testing. But you can find that on the Crown Council website under the resource partners. Grateful for Ron, thankful for his example, especially in Smiles for Life. Him and his team always come to our annual event. They're always there, showing everybody their enthusiasm and leading by example. So very grateful for Ron and his team. That puts us at an hour. Grateful for everybody that joined us today, that watched live or watched recorded. Thank you for being with us. Thank you for Cherry and Brett who joined us. And grateful for everybody in this great Crown Council community. We'll see you next week. We're going to have we're going to have a live webinar with Steve, where registration will be required over on GoToWebinar. So thanks, everybody. That's the show for today, and we'll see you next week.